Speak, ladies and gentlemen. A strong mindset is not something iuapos, reborn with. Itapos, something you build one decision at a time. Most people think mental strength means never feeling fear, never failing, or never doubting yourself. But thatapos, not what true strength looks like. Real strength is waking up every day despite uncertainty. Itapos, choosing discipline over excuses, growth over comfort, and purpose over temporary emotions. Life will test you. It will challenge your patience, your confidence, and your commitment. There will be moments when everything seems to go against you. In those moments, your mindset becomes your greatest asset. Because circumstances donapos determine your future, your response to those circumstances does. People with a strong mindset donapos have easier lives. They simply develop stronger habits of thinking. They donapos waste energy blaming others. They donapos to allow setbacks to define their identity. Instead, they learn, adapt, and keep moving forward with intention. The greatest victories rarely happen on the outside first. They begin within. Every meaningful achievement starts with a decision to become stronger than yesterday. When you master your mind, you begin to master your life. Today, we're going to explore 5 powerful signs that reveal you have a truly strong mindset. These are renapos, talents reserved for a few gifted individuals. They are qualities anyone can develop through consistent action and purposeful living. If you recognize these signs in yourself, continue strengthening them. If you don't oppose, let them become your blueprint, because a stronger mindset creates a stronger future. When life becomes difficult, most people instinctively react to the pressure instead of responding with intention. Stress rises, emotions take over, and decisions are made in haste. But one of the clearest signs of a strong mindset is the ability to remain calm even when everything around you feels uncertain. Calmness is not the absence of fear, pain, or frustration. It is the ability to stay grounded despite those emotions. It is choosing clarity over chaos and wisdom over impulse. The strongest people are not those who never face storms. They are the ones who refuse to let the storm control their thinking. Every challenge presents 2 battles. The first is the external problem you must solve. The second is the internal battle against fear, doubt, and panic. The external challenge may not always be within your control, but your internal response always is. When you train yourself to remain calm, you protect your ability to think clearly. Instead of wasting energy asking why something happened, you begin asking what can be done next. That simple shift changes everything. Solutions become visible because your mind is no longer clouded by emotional reactions. Think about the people who inspire confidence during moments of crisis. They are rarely the loudest voices in the room. They donapos, rush into action without thinking or allow panic to spread to everyone around them. They pause, they observe, they gather the facts. They make thoughtful decisions instead of emotional ones. Their calmness becomes a source of strength not only for themselves but also for everyone around them. People naturally trust those who remain steady when circumstances become unpredictable. Remaining calm also requires accepting a powerful truth. Not everything deserves an immediate reaction. Many situations feel urgent simply because emotions are high. But time often reveals a better perspective. A strong mindset creates space between what happens and how you respond. That pause may last only a few seconds, but within those moments lies the power to choose patience instead of anger, understanding instead of judgment, and courage instead of fear. Those small choices shape the direction of your life far more than dramatic moments ever will. Life will continue to test your patience. Plans will fail. People will disappoint you. Speak. Unexpected setbacks will interrupt your progress. These experiences are unavoidable. What matters is whether they control your thoughts or simply become another challenge you overcome. Every difficult situation gives you an opportunity to strengthen your emotional resilience. Like a muscle that grows stronger through resistance, your mindset becomes more resilient every time you choose calm over panic. Calmness is built long before difficult moments arrive. It grows through daily habits of self-discipline, reflection, and emotional awareness. It comes from taking care of your health, protecting your peace, focusing on what you can control, and refusing to let temporary emotions dictate permanent decisions. Over time, these habits create a deep inner confidence. You no longer fear every obstacle because you trust your ability to handle whatever comes next. That confidence doesn't come from believing life will always be easy. It comes from knowing that whatever happens, you have developed the strength to face it with a clear mind, a steady heart, and the determination to keep moving forward. One of the strongest signs of a resilient mindset is the willingness to take responsibility instead of making excuses. It is easy to point fingers when things go wrong. It is easy to blame difficult circumstances, unfair people, lack of opportunity, or bad luck. While those factors may be real, they do not determine your future unless you allow them to. The moment you stop searching for someone else to blame and begin asking what you can do differently is the moment you take back control of your life. Responsibility is not about carrying unnecessary guilt. It is about recognizing that your choices, your attitude, and your actions are the greatest tools you have for creating change. Excuses may provide temporary comfort, but they also keep you trapped. Every excuse convinces you that the power to improve your situation belongs to someone or something else. If you believe your progress depends entirely on external circumstances, you will spend your life waiting for conditions to become perfect before taking action. But perfect conditions rarely exist. People with a strong mindset understand that progress begins with what they can do today. Even if the step is small, they refuse to let imperfections become reasons for inaction. Taking responsibility requires honesty. It means looking at your own habits, decisions, and behaviors without trying to justify every mistake. That kind of self-reflection is uncomfortable because it forces you to confront weaknesses that are easier to ignore. Yet growth has always started with honesty. You cannot improve what you refuse to acknowledge. Every successful person has faced moments where they had to admit they made the wrong decision, failed to prepare, or allowed fear to influence their actions. Instead of protecting their ego, they chose to learn from the experience. That decision became the foundation for future success. Responsibility also changes the way you respond to failure. Instead of seeing failure as proof that you are incapable, you begin to see it as feedback. You ask better questions. What lesson can I learn? What skill do I need to improve? What decision should I make differently next time? These questions shift your attention away from blame and toward growth. Each answer becomes another step forward instead of another reason to give up. Over time, this mindset transforms setbacks into valuable opportunities for improvement. People naturally respect those who accept responsibility. Whether in leadership, friendships, family, or work, trust is built when others know you are willing to own both your successes and your mistakes. Blaming others may protect your image for a moment, but taking responsibility builds character that lasts for a lifetime. Strong leaders admit when they are wrong because they understand that humility creates credibility. They know that real confidence is not pretending to be perfect. It is being secure enough to acknowledge imperfections while continuing to improve. Choosing responsibility does not mean blaming yourself for everything that happens. There will always be circumstances beyond your control. Unexpected losses, difficult people, and unfair situations are part of life. A strong mindset recognizes the difference between what cannot be controlled and what can. You may not control every event, but you always control your response. You control your effort, your attitude, your discipline, and your willingness to keep moving forward. Those choices shape your future far more than any obstacle ever could. When responsibility becomes your habit, excuses lose their power, your confidence grows stronger, and you begin to realize that the greatest source of change has been within you all along. A strong mindset is revealed by the way you respond to discomfort. Most people naturally seek comfort because it feels safe, familiar, and predictable. There is nothing wrong with enjoying moments of peace, but when comfort becomes your highest priority, growth begins to slow. Every meaningful achievement requires stepping beyond what is easy. Every new skill demands practice that feels awkward. Every important goal asks you to face uncertainty, overcome fear, and continue even when the path is difficult. The people who grow the most are not those who avoid discomfort, but those who understand that it is often the price of becoming a better version of themselves. Discomfort appears in many forms. It may be the anxiety of starting a new career, the challenge of learning a difficult skill, the fear of speaking in front of others, or the discipline of waking up early to pursue your goals. It can also be found in difficult conversations, accepting constructive criticism, admitting mistakes, or making sacrifices today for a better tomorrow. None of these experiences feel pleasant in the moment, yet each one has the potential to shape your character. A strong mindset recognizes that temporary discomfort often leads to lasting confidence and capability. Growth has never been about staying where everything feels easy. Think about the moments in your life when you learned the most. They probably did not happen when everything was comfortable. They happened when you faced challenges that forced you to think differently, adapt, and become stronger. Difficult experiences teach lessons that success alone cannot provide. They develop patience when progress is slow, courage when fear is present, and resilience when setbacks occur. Without these moments, your potential remains hidden because it is never tested. People with a strong mindset stop asking, "How can I avoid this challenge?" Instead, they begin asking, "What is this challenge trying to teach me?" That simple shift transforms obstacles into opportunities. Rather than seeing discomfort as a warning to stop, they see it as evidence that they are stretching beyond their current limits. They understand that the feeling of uncertainty often means they are entering a place where growth becomes possible. Every step outside the comfort zone expands what once seemed impossible. This does not mean you should seek unnecessary hardship or ignore your well-being. It means recognizing the difference between harmful stress and healthy discomfort. Healthy discomfort is the kind that comes from pursuing meaningful goals, developing discipline, and becoming more capable. It challenges you without destroying you. It strengthens you instead of weakening you. Every time you choose the harder but wiser path, you build confidence because you prove to yourself that you can handle more than you once believed. Over time, embracing discomfort changes the way you see yourself. You stop measuring your abilities by your fears and begin measuring them by your willingness to act despite those fears. Speak confidence no longer depends on everything going according to plan. It grows from knowing you can adapt, learn, and recover no matter what happens. Challenges become less intimidating because you have faced them before and discovered that you are stronger than your doubts. A strong mindset understands that comfort may provide temporary satisfaction, but growth provides lasting fulfillment. Every difficult decision made with purpose, every challenge accepted with courage, and every obstacle faced with determination becomes another building block of your character. The life you dream of is rarely found in the places where nothing changes. It is discovered by taking one courageous step beyond comfort again and again, until the person you are becoming is stronger, wiser, and more resilient than the person you used to be. Failure is one of life's greatest teachers, yet it is also one of the experiences people fear the most. Many avoid taking risks because they believe failure is a reflection of their worth or ability. They see one setback as proof that they are not talented enough, smart enough, or capable enough to succeed. But a strong mindset sees failure through a completely different lens. It understands that failure is not an identity, it is an event. It is something that happens, not something that defines who you are. The difference between those who achieve lasting success and those who give up is not the absence of failure, but the willingness to learn from it. Every meaningful goal comes with obstacles. Every ambitious dream includes moments of disappointment, rejection, and unexpected setbacks. No one builds a successful career, meaningful relationship, or fulfilling life without making mistakes along the way. The people we admire most are rarely those who never failed. They are the ones who refuse to let failure become their final chapter. They accepted the pain, learned the lesson, adjusted their approach, and continued moving forward with greater wisdom than before. A strong mindset asks different questions after a setback. Instead of asking, quote, "Why did this happen to me?" quote, it asks, quote, "What is this experience trying to teach me?" quote. That simple change in perspective transforms failure from an obstacle into an opportunity. Every mistake contains valuable information if you are willing to examine it honestly. Perhaps you needed better preparation, stronger discipline, more patience, or a different strategy. Instead of viewing these lessons as reasons for shame, mentally strong people see them as tools for improvement. They understand that every lesson learned today prevents a larger mistake tomorrow. Failure also builds qualities that success alone cannot develop. It teaches humility by reminding you that there is always more to learn. It develops resilience because every time you recover from disappointment, You become more confident in your ability to handle future challenges. It strengthens patience by showing you that meaningful progress rarely happens overnight. Most importantly, it builds courage, because every time you stand back up after falling, you prove to yourself that setbacks cannot destroy your determination. One of the greatest dangers is allowing failure to shape your identity. When people begin saying, quote, "I failed, so I must be a failure," quote, they create beliefs that limit their future actions. They stop trying because they expect the same outcome. They avoid opportunities because they fear repeating past mistakes. But your past experiences do not determine your future unless you allow them to control your decisions. Every new day offers another opportunity to apply what you have learned and move forward with greater understanding than before. People with a strong mindset recognize that progress is rarely a straight line. There will be moments of success followed by unexpected setbacks. There will be victories and defeats, confidence and doubt, breakthroughs and disappointments. Speak. They accept this reality without losing hope, because they know that growth is not measured by how many times they avoid failure. It is measured by how consistently they choose to rise after every fall. When you stop fearing failure, you begin unlocking your true potential. You become willing to take meaningful risks, explore new possibilities, and challenge your own limits, because you know that even if you stumble, you will gain something valuable. Success may bring rewards, but failure brings wisdom. And wisdom, applied consistently over time, becomes one of the greatest advantages a person can possess. A strong mindset does not pretend failure never happened. It honors the lessons it provides, leaves the disappointment behind, and walks forward stronger, wiser, and more prepared for whatever comes next. One of the clearest signs of a strong mindset is the ability to stay focused on your purpose instead of being distracted by other people's opinions. Every person who chooses to pursue a meaningful goal will eventually face criticism, doubt, misunderstanding, or comparison. Some people will question your decisions because they cannot see your vision. Others may project their own fears onto your dreams, convincing you that your goals are unrealistic or impossible. If you allow every opinion to influence your direction, you will spend your life trying to satisfy everyone except yourself. A strong mindset understands that purpose provides direction, while opinions often create confusion. Purpose gives your life a reason beyond temporary emotions. It reminds you why you started when the journey becomes difficult. It helps you stay committed when progress feels slow and results are not yet visible. People who live with purpose are not easily distracted because they understand that every meaningful achievement requires patience, consistency, and sacrifice. They know that success is not built by chasing approval, but by remaining faithful to the work that truly matters. The truth is that people will always have opinions. If you take a risk, some will say you are reckless. If you play it safe, others will say you lack ambition. If you succeed, some will celebrate you while others may criticize your methods. If you fail, there will always be those who point out your mistakes. Trying to control what everyone thinks is an impossible task. A strong mindset accepts this reality and chooses to focus on what can actually be controlled: your actions, your attitude, your character, and your commitment to your purpose. Comparison is another obstacle that can pull you away from your purpose. It is easy to look at someone else's progress and begin questioning your own path. You may feel behind, inadequate, or discouraged because someone else appears to be moving faster. But every person is walking a different journey with different experiences, opportunities, and challenges. Comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20 only creates unnecessary frustration. A strong mindset recognizes that real competition is not with other people. It is with the person you were yesterday. Every small improvement brings you closer to becoming who you are meant to be. Staying focused on purpose also requires emotional discipline. Not every criticism deserves your attention, and not every compliment should define your confidence. If you rely on praise to feel valuable, you will also become vulnerable to criticism. True confidence comes from knowing your values, understanding your mission, and remaining committed regardless of outside approval. You learn to listen to constructive feedback because it helps you grow, but you refuse to let negative voices determine your identity or your future. People who accomplish extraordinary things often spend long periods working quietly while others doubt them. They understand that results speak louder than arguments. Instead of wasting energy defending every decision or explaining every dream, they invest that energy into improving their skills, strengthening their character, and moving one step closer to their goals. Over time, consistent action becomes the strongest response to criticism. A strong mindset understands that purpose is a compass that keeps you moving in the right direction, even when the path is uncertain. Opinions will change, trends will come and go, and people will continue to judge based on their own experiences and beliefs. But when you know why you are doing what you do, those voices lose their power. You become less concerned with being understood by everyone and more committed to living with integrity, serving a meaningful mission, and becoming the person your purpose requires you to be. That unwavering focus is what allows ordinary people to achieve extraordinary things. One of the strongest signs of a resilient mindset is the ability to practice discipline even when motivation disappears. Motivation is powerful, but it is also unpredictable. Some days you wake up feeling energized, inspired, and ready to conquer every challenge. On other days you feel tired, discouraged, or distracted. If your progress depends entirely on how you feel, your results will always be inconsistent. A strong mindset understands that emotions change, but commitment should not. Discipline is the decision to keep moving forward regardless of your mood, because your purpose is greater than your temporary feelings. Many people wait until they feel motivated before taking action. They believe they must first feel confident before starting a project, feel inspired before exercising, or feel excited before working toward a goal. But successful people reverse that process. They take action first, knowing that motivation often follows movement. They understand that waiting for the perfect feeling usually leads to procrastination, while consistent action creates momentum. Every small step completed today makes the next step easier tomorrow. Discipline is built through the promises you make to yourself and, more importantly, the promises you keep. Every time you say you will wake up early, complete your work, learn a new skill, or finish a task, you create an opportunity to strengthen your character. When you follow through despite inconvenience or discomfort, you prove to yourself that your words have value. That consistency builds self-respect. Over time, confidence no longer comes from hoping you can succeed. It comes from knowing you can trust yourself to do what needs to be done, even when it is difficult. There will always be reasons to quit. Life becomes busy, unexpected problems arise, and obstacles appear without warning. Some days you will feel exhausted. Other days you may question whether your efforts are making any difference. These moments are where discipline reveals its true power. A strong mindset does not deny these struggles, but it refuses to let them become excuses. Instead of asking, "Do I feel like doing this today?" it asks, "Is this action aligned with the person I want to become?" That simple question shifts your focus away from temporary comfort and back toward long-term growth. Discipline also teaches patience. In a world that celebrates instant results, it reminds you that meaningful success is often built quietly over months and years of consistent effort. Most breakthroughs happen after countless unseen hours of practice, learning, and persistence. The habits repeated every day, even when no one is watching, eventually produce extraordinary outcomes. Small actions may seem insignificant in the moment, but their combined effect over time can completely transform your life. Practicing discipline does not mean being perfect. Even the most determined people experience setbacks, make mistakes, and have days when they fall short of their standards. The difference is that they do not allow one missed day to become a permanent habit. They acknowledge the setback, learn from it, and return to their routine without unnecessary self-criticism. They understand that consistency is not about never failing. It is about refusing to stop after failure. A strong mindset recognizes that motivation may ignite the journey, but discipline carries it to the finish line. Motivation is temporary because it depends on emotion, while discipline is dependable because it is rooted in values and commitment. When you continue taking purposeful action despite fatigue, doubt, or discomfort, you develop a level of resilience that cannot be shaken by changing circumstances. Day after day, those disciplined choices shape your habits, your character, and ultimately your future. In the end, the life you build is not determined by the moments you felt inspired, but by the moments you chose to keep going when inspiration had faded. As you reflect on these 5 signs of a strong mindset, remember this: mental strength is not something a few fortunate people are born with. It is something that is built through the choices you make every single day. Every time you stay calm under pressure, take responsibility for your actions, embrace discomfort, learn from failure, stay true to your purpose, and choose discipline over excuses, you are becoming stronger than you were yesterday. Your greatest competition is not the people around you. It is the person you were yesterday. Focus on improving one thought, one habit, and one decision at a time. Small, consistent actions may seem insignificant today, but over time they create extraordinary results. The strongest mindset is not built in moments of comfort. It is forged through challenges, perseverance, and the courage to keep moving forward when the path is uncertain. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until fear disappears or motivation returns. Make the decision today to lead your life with purpose, resilience, and unwavering discipline. Because when you strengthen your mind, you strengthen your future. And once your mindset becomes your greatest strength, there is no obstacle too great, no setback too painful, and no dream too far beyond your reach. Thank you.